Alright, let me just say this. I am never trying to be a helpful, responsible adult ever again, because the last time I did, I created the loudest, messiest, most embarrassing chain reaction of disasters known to mankind. Let me explain. So this all happened at my friend's apartment building. He asked me to swing by and water his plants while he was out of town. Easy job, simple. I figured it'd take 5 minutes, tops. Spoiler alert, it did not take 5 minutes. It took 5 minutes for everything to go straight to hell. I walk into the building feeling all proud of myself. You know, like, wow, look at me. I'm so reliable. I'm trustworthy. That was my first mistake of the day. Believing in myself. I get to his door. I unlock it. I walk it and immediately trip over a giant, decorative shoe rack he apparently just bought the day before. It slams into the wall with a noise like a thunderclap. I'm standing there frozen solid, just thinking, please, nobody open their door. Please, 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 but it's too late. Of course it is. A neighbor from across the hall cracks her door open and peeks out. Everything okay out here? Yes, ma'am. Just being a responsible citizen. Falling over furniture, nothing to see here. I just give her this super awkward wave and shuffle inside, closing the door behind me. Deep breath. I find the watering can. I fill it up in the sink. And I'm thinking, okay, finally, something easy. No, this watering can has a hole, a tiny little hole that I did not see. So as I'm walking around his living room, water is just dripping everywhere, leaving this little trail of guilt behind me. I look back and the floor looks like a giant slug has been dragging itself all over his apartment. I panic. I sprint to get paper towels to clean it up, and in my haste, I knock over a stack of his mail. The mail slides off the table and hits a candle holder. The candle holder then falls onto the cat's scratching post, which then tips over and lands directly on top of the plant I was supposed to be watering in the first place. So now I'm not watering a plant, I'm watering dirt all over the floor. Perfect. And then the absolute worst thing happens. The smoke alarm starts going off. Apparently when that candle holder fell, it must have flicked a tiny piece of wick dust or something onto the stove, and I kid you not, there was still some residual heat left over from when my friend cooked his dinner the day before. The stove lets off the tiniest, most pathetic little puff of smoke, but the alarm reacts like I just summoned Satan himself into the kitchen. Beep, beep, beep. This apartment building must have had NASA-grade alarms because it felt like the whole planet could hear it. I'm running around the apartment like a headless chicken, waving a dish towel in the air like I'm trying to summon a demon to get rid of the smoke. I try opening the window to air the place out, but it's stuck. So I pull harder and it flies open, slams into the blinds, and bends them into a shape that they were definitely not designed to be in. I'm sweating, I'm panicking, and now I'm sliding around on the water I spilled earlier like Bambi on ice. And in the middle of all this absolute chaos, the neighbor from earlier knocks on the door, AGAIN. Is everything okay in there? And through the door I just yell, yep, just watering the plants, because apparently that was the hill I was going to die on. After what felt like an entire hour but was probably more like 45 seconds, the alarm finally stops. I just collapse onto the floor like I've just run a marathon. I finally manage to clean everything up. I fix the scratching post. I wipe the floor. I bend the blinds back into something vaguely resembling their original shape, and I put that stupid shoe rack back where it was. I finish watering the very last plant, carefully, silently, like I'm defusing a bomb. I lock up, leave the apartment, and just pray my friend doesn't notice a single thing. He comes home the next day. He texts me one thing, just one sentence. Bro, why is my plant pot cracked? And why are my blinds shaped like a W? And all I could reply with was, long story, you still need me to water your plants, and that is why I will never volunteer for anything ever again. If you enjoyed the chaos, and I know you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and prepare yourself, because my life, it never stops being this embarrassing. Thanks for watching.